some very powerful interests in the United States, and that is why the U.S. continues to support Ukraine and why they are turning a blind eye to various acts of terrorism and human rights abuses by the Ukraine military. It is profitable to some defense contractors in the U.S., and that's very important to the leaders in Washington. I think it's also profitable to the oil and natural gas industry that now wants to sell their wares to Europe, trying to displace Russia. Let's go back to Operation Paperclip. You know, after World War II, the U.S. brought over 1,100 Nazi scientists to help the U.S. in the war against the Cold War against the Soviet Union. And the U.S. has been supporting Nazis in Ukraine for decades. So, I mean, this is nothing new, and this is not surprising. The U.S., again, you can't even say they're indifferent to Nazis in the Ukraine. The fact is the U.S. supports Nazis in Ukraine.
Well, the bridge attack drew immediate praise, really, from Western media, and that was coming in while the fires were still burning, with many headlines saying the infrastructure was of utmost importance to Russia. Outlets also labelled the terrorist attack, as Moscow now calls it, an important action for Kiev. The deadly incident was also celebrated in Kiev as people took pictures in front of a huge poster depicting the blast on the bridge. Several Ukrainian officials were quick to rejoice over the attack too, including some of Mr. Zelensky's advisors. However, one of them later backtracked on what he said, but a new twist on the story, saying the attack was orchestrated by Russian security services. It's not the first time Ukrainian officials have abruptly changed their stance either, as RT contributor Rachel Marsden told the programme earlier.
The problem with the West empowering allies to be its attack dogs against Russia is that sometimes the proxy manages to chew through its leash or its harness. It then starts running around doing its business all over the neighbors' yards while loudly barking its excitement and even causing simple-minded creatures to bark along with it. That is until the master shows up and drags it back into the yard and gets it under control. This is exactly what seems to have happened now between the West and its allies in 3 separate recent incidents. Most recently, there was the Crimea bridge explosion. On Saturday morning, in the wake of the attack, Ukrainian officials celebrated on social media.
Crimea, the bridge, the beginning. Everything illegal must be destroyed. Everything stolen must be returned to Ukraine. Everything occupied by Russia must be expelled.
The guided missile cruise on Moskva and the Kerch Bridge, 2 notorious symbols of Russian power in Ukrainian